Okay, so I've restarted the live. Please let me know if you're back. Hopefully, this works this time. I want to believe this is going to work and we will not have any issues this time. So, let me know if you're back. Remember, this is Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Um, as I always say, and it's the truth, I don't just go on this, I don't just lead you, I don't just talk about the growth. I actually go on the journey with you. As I'm talking, I'm learning. As I'm teaching, I'm learning. As I'm speaking, I am also learning. So it's not a fact, it's not a matter of just talking. I'm talking and learning with you. All right. So today, we are having. It keeps telling me my connection is slow. Maybe that's why I can't add um, our speaker for today. I don't know why the connection is slow. It should be. Oh, praise the Lord! It has worked. I don't know why the connection All right. Slow. So welcome, Coach
Thank
Ifeoma
you.
Obon. I'm so glad to have you here. Facebook wanted to do their thing, but we said no. This session must go on.
Yes.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Afternoon. Trust you had a good day. Well, you are having a good day. The day is still on.
You know. Yes. So, how are you doing, ma?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So just go ahead and talk to us today about the impact of poor work-life balance on employees and employers. Just go ahead. If I feel a need to come in, I will come in any point. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me. Work-life balance. I listened to your live last week and you just simplified it that every person, every child can understand what work-life balance is. It's just the fulfillment. How fulfilled are you or how satisfied are you in those two worlds? And there are still people that believe that there's nothing like work-life balance.
Yeah.
Some people believe that there's nothing like that. But because of their understanding or misunderstanding of what work-life balance is, that is why they come to this conclusion. So before I start, let me share two myths about work-life balance. One, a lot of people feel that work-life balance is supposed to be 50-50. That means 50% of your work and 50% is supposed to be your personal life, the other part. And it's not always so. It's just about you creating that balance for yourself. Even for yourself, this proportion changes with time. So that's the first myth. That's why people say, no, there's nothing like work-life balance. I work a lot. Yes, you work a lot. It is so, but does not mean that you cannot still achieve balance. And the second one, it says that work-life balance is a luxury that one cannot afford. But I tell you, like self-care, work-life balance is a necessity. Work-life balance is not a one-time thing. It's a progressive thing that you keep working on. Last week, there's a group of ladies I'm working with in one of my courses, Balance and Achieve. And I told them last week was a good week. I was able to achieve a balance in my life till Wednesday. From Thursday, everything else went haywire. I came back home, a long day, I'm exhausted. All what I planned to do, I could not do it. The same thing on Friday. So I went back to the table and I've tried to see where did this problem come from? Was it from me? Is it something I could have changed, or did life happen? Because you have to know whether life happens or is an everyday thing. So that's what I had to come and find out for myself. So in also understanding work-life balance, before we now go into the impact, we have to understand that we have two views about work-life balance. I personally call these views the forest view, seeing everything from afar, and the tree view, seeing everything in detail. So what do I mean by this forest view? What I mean is this: each person has a particular way they are living their life. Some people, they have 5 working days and 2 days free. Maybe they work from Monday to Friday and they have Saturday and Sunday free. While some people, maybe they work in the clinic, they do night 7 days and they have 5 days free. So that's their own. Why, if we go to think of these sport people or athletes, you see that they go into camp sometimes for 3 months. They don't see their families, they are training, they work for a competition. After that, they can have also 3 months where they are free.
Yeah.
Why some people, they go out 6 months working, training, go to mountains, go to the cold, go to this camp, training to achieve their goal. After that, the next 6 months, they are free.
Yeah.
So that's the forest view that I see. And that is why it's work-life balance is an individual thing. There is no hardcore rule about it. It's your own thing. You understand? So that is the forest view. And then we have now the tree view, which we'll be talking about today, your everyday life now. How do you now balance your own life? And why do we even have imbalance in the first place? Why do I as an employee have imbalance? Why do I as an employer have imbalance? One, when we look at life, there's a lot of competition. We're trying to fit in, we're trying to beat the next person, we're trying to also beat ourselves. So we put in more energy, more time, more of us into maybe our work or into family. The funniest thing, when we think about work-life balance, we always think that the work is taking all our time.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is that especially moms, I have some moms that prefer to go to work because when they come home, they are being drawn in 10 different places.
I can imagine.
There was a colleague she was not feeling fine, and we told her, okay, now you can go. We said, no, we should leave her, let her stay here and just be doing the computer like this, because when she gets home, it's finished. She can't rest. There's nothing she can do. So you can see that sometimes work is not even the problem. Work is not always the problem. This evening on my own platform, I'll be talking about men and women. Men and women, they have different components of their own work-life balance. And I would say that women have to struggle a lot because naturally speaking, as a woman, you are given some God-given work to do that I believe every woman should embrace if you can, and it's not always easy. So that competition is one. So your personal ambition, your personal drive can get you out of balance. You have people that are so career driven. Those people will easily get out of balance than someone that is just taking life, taking life one by one. Then we have people that are less paid, people that don't have much, their work is not giving them enough money. What they tend to do is to find a second work, a third work. So that is getting them out of balance, doing much more because the one they are doing is not giving them enough money. But funny enough, even the people that are being paid more, maybe I'm being paid $100 1 hour, I would think, instead of me to work only 4 days, why don't I work 5 days? Why don't I even work Saturday? For them to pay me 1 hour, $100, then I have more money. So both the poor and the rich, they are prone to get into this imbalance out of need and out of the high income they are getting. So it's not only the poor that have this problem. Then also you can also get into imbalance depending on where you are, how far your work is. Some people, they work from home. For those people, some kind of problems are avoided because you don't have to get up in the morning and go out.
Yeah.
In the work I was doing before, it takes me only 5 minutes walk to my working place. The work I'm doing now, it takes me 1 hour to get there. So you can imagine the difference, and with bus and train, and you're down just walking 5 minutes. So that alone, you save time from one and the other than the other one. So these are the factors that can bring in this imbalance into your life as a worker. So for an employee, I'm an employee in one area of it, and what are the things? What are the impacts when I don't get this balance with my time, with my energy, with my resources? What impact can it have on me? Number one, stress and burnout. Because I'm being drawn in different places and I cannot manage my time well. I cannot manage my energy well. I will go to work. I'm not trying to differentiate between moms and dad, but also there's some dads that still come home and still have to help out. So there's some dads that are really involved in work, in helping out. So you go to work, you're trying to give your best. You are already anxious of giving your best. You come back home, you continue, you want your kids or your family to have a good life, taking them from one activity to the other, going for parent meetings. You also have maybe church and other things. So already the anxiety is there. Already too much energy is being given out. So that's the first thing. If you don't balance your work life very well, you get stressed out, you get burnt out, you get exhausted. You just be tired. You ask yourself, why are you tired? Yes, because you are giving out. You're giving out at work. You're giving out in the family, and maybe for you, all these things are necessary. But sometimes we need to go back on the table and really know, is that really necessary? The number of hours I'm working, is that really necessary? Let me give an example. Where I stay, for example, for married couples, you really need to calculate how much you are earning because of the tax. If you don't calculate very well, two of you be working full time and you'll be getting less money than one person working full time and the other person working 50%. You get more money. It's funny, but it's so. You understand? So even the government, they know how to save that energy and time for you, because there's a level of amount of money you get that your tax will be too much, that you automatically have to reduce your work so that you don't pay too much tax.
Yeah.
So, and this is what we need to do in our life. We need to come back to the table and ask ourselves, maybe I should reduce my work to increase my energy or to increase my time and live longer than for me to have everything and live shorter. So the first thing, you get burnt out, you get exhausted. A lot of people, life is already exhausting.
Yeah.
Depends on also where you are staying. So when you don't have this balance, maybe from your bosses, if you have the wrong kind of boss, the wrong kind of colleagues, and you don't like your job, that's a very big problem for you, this balance. And when you don't get this balance, the next thing is sickness.
Yeah.
Sickness takes place. In that area of sickness, where I am, there's what they call, there's a study that says that there are more absentees at work, and it's increasing. And the diagnose, sorry, of English, diagnose, the cause, it's also the diagnose of English, diagnose,
Diagnosis.
diagnosis, sorry. Diagnosis, yeah, the diagnosis is not something, is something somatic. It's not something you can trace. You see them, they are absent from work because they're having migraines. They are absent from work because they're having stomach problem, because maybe they are thinking of the workload. They are thinking of the stress from the bosses, or they are thinking of the stress from their colleagues, or they're into jobs that is not their passion.
Yeah.
So
Very
if you need,
important.
I try to talk to the younger ones. As much as we parents want our kids to study this, study that, take a passion test. Is what they call a passion test, to know the areas of your strength, to know your talents, and if possible, read something in that area so you can work in that area, so that you spend your life doing what you like.
Yeah.
The level of your stress will reduce because you don't even feel it.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
Though, if I can add here, that's the problem employers also have. because they are the bosses, and maybe because they are doing what they like, maybe you have a salon, you understand, and you love to make hair. Because you do what you love, you tend to do too many hours, and stress and burnout will creep in, but without you knowing it. That's then the disadvantage of that one. But if you really love what you are doing and you take care, stress is very well reduced. You understand? So you have increased absentees, this tummy aches and fear and anxiety and migraines will increase when you don't balance it, when you are working too much, when your workload is too much for whatever reasons. Maybe there's not enough employees at work, you have to do much. Like when I asked myself last week, I said, oh, what happened? Why am I so exhausted? I worked the normal hours, but I realized that some of my colleagues were not there, either holiday or they were sick. So I had much more to do, So having much more to do would decrease your health. So we have to be very, very careful. This pressure and this sickness, they are not acute sickness, they are chronic sickness. They come in and they stay. And those chronic sickness, they are not detected on time because they just come in quietly. So also when you have this work-life imbalance as an employee, you start having you don't have job satisfaction again. Your job satisfaction, your job engagement will reduce because you are exhausted, because you are tired. It's not the same power you used to go to work, you go to work again. So that if you don't manage it very well, that is the impact of it. You don't have that satisfaction, you don't have that fulfillment. And work-life balance is you having that fulfillment both at work and at home. That's the two of those things. And one of the things also as an employee that really affects you is your relationship outside the workplace. Especially when work is in imbalance, you go to work, you are tired, you come back home. Like I said, maybe you need 1 or 2 hours to get back home. You come back home, your kids, they come to you, you can't talk to them, you are exhausted, you are tired. Your husband is speaking to you, you are tired. I remember what you said last week, that your husband will look at you when you finish doing what you are doing at home and you go back to the computer and you are working on the computer and he's just looking at you. You get my point? So maybe he didn't talk. Some other men, they might talk. They need your attention. They need you. So that means that your relationship is being impaired. And I think that's the greatest thing that happens. I remember when my kids were growing up and I had to go to school, I had to go to work. When I come back, they're just all over me. I'm just like, I find that I'm easily irritated to the situation easily irritates me. I'm just, angry, not at them, but because you are tired, you are exhausted. So I had to tell them, I have to call and say, listen, when mom comes home, come and say, hi, mama, welcome. Then go, give me 5-10 minutes to calm down. Then come and start telling me the things you are telling me. If not, sometimes they'll tell me something, I'll say yes, 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 yes. Tomorrow I'll see them doing something, I'll ask, what are you doing? I'm like, mom, you said yes when you came back yesterday. When I came back yesterday, my head was not there. You understand?
Yes.
So that is the problem of working when your workload is too much, when you're working long hours, your relationships suffer from it. So as an employee, your health, is affected. You have you can become you miss work, you have more sick leave, your relationships become impaired, you have chronic diseases, and your work satisfaction reduces. That's the greatest impact you can have as an employee. And if you are not careful, you lose that job, or you lose your family. That's the part of it. You lose that job, or you lose your family, or your kids don't come to you anymore, or your partner don't come to you anymore because you are there but you're not present. You can just be there but you're not present. You are just all over the place. And the people, some of us that bring our work from work back home, And that's one that is a very big problem that we need to really, like you said,
Yes.
we really to look into it. But I must also say that there are sometimes maybe your company is building up something, and you also said it last week, and I like that. There's always an exception.
True.
As long as that exception is not an everyday thing, then it's okay. So sometimes it can be at the beginning of you people building the work in 1 month, 2 months, it's okay. I tell people that maybe their mother-in-laws are coming to visit them and they're not in good terms with their mother-in-law, and they'll keep crying. And I say, it's only a visit. It's 1 month, 2 months. Something that has an end like that, for example, if you people are not, if that person is maybe not so comfortable to you, you just have to put your mind that this is only 1 month, 2 months.
Yeah.
It changes a lot of
Yes,
things.
it
It's when you
does.
now say it's 1 year, then you have to go back to the table and see how you people are going to plan it out. So if it's at the beginning, it's an exception, it's 1 month, it's 2 months, it's okay. That's life, you know. So going down to the employers, sometimes we'll say, is their what they call it, is their work, they can stop at any time. It's a lie.
They can't.
Employer, business owners, they can't stop at any time.
Really.
For example, the doctors I work with, when I'm sick, I take my sick leave, and maybe when I'm okay, I start work. Sometimes they will be sick. They'll stay only 2 days, they'll come to work. So they are there because it's their source of living.
Yeah.
They cannot get a sick leave and get paid. Business owners, when they close their business, no one pays them.
Yeah.
Or they open their shop from morning till night. And like when we talk about work-life balance, depends on the area where you are. You said something last week, some in Nigeria or in some other countries where they're supposed to close their shops by 6 o'clock, and somebody comes and says, no, I still want to buy something. Some people will still open their shop for only 2 naira, for only 10
Yes,
naira,
for
something.
sure.
But yeah, I'm surprised that sometimes you want to go to an ice cream shop to buy ice cream, maybe with 5 of you or 10 of you coming from a program, and they see people coming 6 o'clock, they close it. You tell them, they've closed it. It's finished. They don't care. You understand? So it's their own understanding. 6 o'clock is their closing time. They
Work
don't want to know
closes.
whether you are bringing 10,000 euros with your 10,000 friends to buy ice cream. It's closed, which
Yeah.
is a good idea. But you can make exception, but that is a good idea, and that is a shutdown we need to do.
Mm.
It's a shutdown we need to do. I myself, I had to learn it, because when I come back from work, that's when I do my coaching, that's when I read my books, that's when I write. I find myself writing to late in the night. Early in the morning, I'll wake up. Your body will pain you, get exhausted. So I had to put a shutdown time for myself. Say, no matter what I do, 9:30, 10 o'clock is shut down. You drop
Closed.
everything down. I had to train myself, because I'm a person, if it's my own work, I can work anyhow.
Yeah. True.
And you get tired, you get burnt out. So for employers, it's much more difficult. One, because they cannot control the employees. Sometimes you have workers that are not serious, that are not faithful, that are not there for you. So when they are not there, you have to do their work. You have to be there. So it's difficult for them, because their productivity reduces as employers, and that can affect them. You understand?
Mm.
So, and also them themselves, when they do too much, you can imagine yourself. I told this story when I changed homes, and I was trying to fix a table by myself. So I was fixing a lot of things. Then you go to that table. I've been working how many hours, I don't know. Then this particular knot, I was trying to fix it in a particular place. I could not, So that was 12 midnight order. So I now left it. Woke up the next morning. I spent almost 1 hour for that knot. Woke up the next morning, ate, went back to do that knot. It didn't take me 2 minutes. So when you are under stress, when you are, there's no balance, you're working too much, you become less productive.
Mm.
And that is what we need to learn. You have to know how to plan your time. Either you plan the highest you can work the highest you should work without any break is 3 to 4 hours. That's the highest without break, 3 to 4 hours. And that is when you really need to concentrate on a study or a project. If not, every hour you try and just move around 2-3 minutes and take a break. But the highest you can do without any break is 4 hours. And you see people that are self-employed, you see employers, they work 8 hours, they work 20 hours without anything.
Yeah, straight.
And that is what they need to know, that the more they work like that, their creativity reduces, their productivity reduces. So don't think that you the more time you work, the more there's time to meditate and whisper. I have a plant here, and I keep saying, my kids always laugh at me. I'm not a plant person, but I bought this plant and I call this plant Whispers. It reminds me to take a break, because I'm that kind of a person. I'm a workaholic by nature, and I always need something to remind myself. So anytime I see this plant, is Whispers telling me that I need to listen to, maybe to God as a Christian, to listen. And sometimes when you just spend that 5 minutes relaxing and listening, you find a better way, a smarter way, an easier way to do something.
True.
So for employees, part of when they don't have a good work-life balance is that they become less productive. Funny enough, they become less productive, and doing that, you increase your cost of doing everything, because you are staying there. Your time that you are using, you need more people to do things. Your cost increases. Your cost increases. Then the morale of your employees, they see you, what you are doing. You understand? And if you are not careful, they see you working that way. They think they are, which word will I use? They are not good enough, because boss is working 24 hours. Me, I'll just come and go. So they will always have that, this man will think I'm not doing enough. They feel unsatisfied. And someone that is feeling unsatisfied is not creative. They feel they are not giving enough, or they cannot give enough. So as employers, you need to also take your breaks. So those are the impacts that can take place between workers and their workers and their employers. So what the things that you can do to better this impact, to reduce this impact, or to totally eliminate this impact from your life, is one, recognizing, I call them the pillars of work-life balance. The things that you should do, the things you should work on to have a better work-life balance. One is self-awareness. Self-awareness, knowing yourself. For example, like I said to a group last week, I said, I'm a morning person. So for me to go and get a job that I do have to go out in the night, is me, first of all, I'm just putting up myself for stress. So know yourself, know your strengths as an employer, as an employee. Am I a workaholic? Am I an absentee normally? Where are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses? So both for the employers and the employees, when you know yourself, you'll be able to reduce the impact of this stress, and you'll be able to achieve work-life balance more. Because right now, I know it's better for you to call me by 4 o'clock to come and work. In my working place, we have people that start very early and people that start later. We are able to complement ourselves. I start early because I want to come back home and be with my family. So I'm able to better achieve that work-life balance. And the other person, she's a single lady. She wants to sleep till 9 and come later and stay till late. She doesn't have anybody to go to. So I'm able to achieve my own work-life balance, and she, if that's what she wants to. So knowing my strength, knowing my situation helps me to reduce that imbalance, help me to better my work-life balance. The second one is time management. Effective time management. We don't manage our time well. Time is limited, yes, but if we manage it well, it will help us. For example, as a mom, you know that, okay, during the week is difficult. You cook weekends, you cook before, you plan, you have your routines. They help you to achieve more. They help you to organize things more. But a lot of us, we don't plan, both in our professional life and in our physical, in our personal life. For example, at work, I have my working calendar and I have things that I do. You understand? So every week, every day, I check, have I done these things? And I mark them up. I look at them in the morning before I start work. I mark them up. Sometimes when I ask some of my colleagues and I tell them, why are you standing? She said, why? I said, but you are here to do, we are friends. You are here to do this and this and this. They will not do, they'll just be gisting. 1 hour to the time to close, 30 minutes to the time to close. They'll start going to put this particular thing on, and that thing they're putting on needs 1 hour to finish. Then I asked, why didn't you do it on time? They forgot. So, but if you are able to plan, have a routine, have something, have a small calendar, have something that you'll be able to plan your time and the things you do, it helps you to reduce this stress, and it makes your work to be spread. You know, when you have so much work, when you're only thinking about it, it's so heavy. But when you're able to break it down, it reduces the stress. So, and that's what time management can do for you. In time management, we have what you call you using this table of you doing the urgent and what they call it, important things first, then important but not urgent, like that. When you're able to plan your things that way, you reduce stress. Sometimes when I come back home and I see the home is scattered, okay, it's important, it should be arranged. Food is not done. It needs to be done, is urgent. And their house of garbage, their own work is here to be done. So these are different things. No, now coming home, I should be able to, that is being to prioritize, to say, which one can I leave for today, else you break down.
True.
And you now put it away and say, okay, nobody's coming to it's good for my house to be clean, it's important, but nobody's coming to inspect me, but they need to eat. Okay, that's the first thing I should do. Then their own work, they need to submit it, and I'll do that. Doing that, you come to a place, you relax a bit, you are giving yourself grace, you are breathing. So that is time management and prioritizing. Another one I'll go into next week is about setting boundaries. That one I'll go into it very well. Then self-care. You know, you need to talk. You need to know your limits. At work, because I know my responsibility as a coach. And when they now come and say, who is going to take over this aspect? My hands are always down. I don't even raise up my hand because I know it will be too much. The responsibility will be too much for me. Even if money is attached to it, I have to self-care, my health.
True.
So many workers, they like recognition, they take up too much tax that is too much for them. So you have to know what your limits are and what not to take. Self-care, take your breaks, fight for your breaks. When your bosses give you something that is too much, let them know this is too much for me. They give you a deadline that you cannot meet based on your family and everything, just like the way you talk to your boss. But some of us might not be able to talk to our bosses because of money. We're afraid that they will sack us, and what will happen to our family? So we'll keep our mouths shut. But that is why I pray for employers to really put life. You said that last week also. Put life into the work, because that is what it is. When you calculate for some people how long they stay at work, that is more than almost half their life, for some people more. And if that place is not a conducive place, you can see what you are doing to yourself. But if you have a working place whereby you people can relax, you can play games, you can do some kind of things, you see that it reduces, it lowers it releases the environment. I have such good colleagues that we work so well together that when one has nothing much to do, she's asking the other person, and can I help you out? Can I help you out? Such teams, you don't easily get it. But that helps out, because that is where you guys you are working together. So you need to take care of yourself, and you need to also, I had a colleague, she does not talk when she needs help. She'll just be there until somebody goes to ask her. We tell her, listen, When it's burning, scream, say, I have much to do. Can somebody take some things from me? That is your self-care. You know that your engine is about to knock. So when you are able to do those things, you achieve work-life balance better if you're able to do those things. Then connect to the right people at work. Get a good. I know sometimes our bosses might not be the best, our colleagues might not be the best, but I pray if we can get 1 or 2 colleagues that are family to us at work. Make that connection. Someone that will just look at you and say, Ify, I have a colleague. See, she's younger than me. She's almost half my age, but she will just look at me. Ify, what is it? You need a hug. Ify, what is it? She just sees me and she's just there. So no matter when that stress wants to come, when that work is too much, there's somebody's backing you. So you need that connection to somebody at work to be able to look at things, and you also need that connection at home. You need to have a partner, you need to have kids, you need to have aunties, uncles, whoever is staying around you, that connection, and say, this person is supposed to come by 6 o'clock. Maybe I can go and pick her up.
Yeah.
Saving that journey. Or I came back early today. Let me make the food so that she doesn't come back to make the food. Things like that. This connection will help you not to burn out as an employer and also as an employee.
Yeah.
So the last one is also delegation. Delegation. A lot of us find it difficult to delegate our work. We feel that when we tell somebody what we are doing, when we show somebody what we are doing, the person might take our position. That is an uncalled fear. When you are sure of what you do, the best thing you can do is to show somebody else your work. The trainees we have at my working place, I always pick one and tell them, okay, I'm in charge of ordering. Come, sit down, look at the way I order things. You teach people what you are doing. You duplicate yourself.
Yes.
By doing that, you are increasing your influence. So that even though you are sick, you can relax and be sick. You can imagine being sick and somebody is calling you on the phone. Okay, where is that? Where are we going to order this? It's so wrong. You cannot even be sick in your own quietness, in peace. You cannot be sick in peace. So learn to delegate, learn to teach somebody what you are doing. Take somebody by the hand, a younger person, a younger colleague or so, or something like that, and teach them what you do, so that when you are not there, somebody is there, so that you can go on holiday in peace. You can be sick in peace. If you are not there, you are not there, so that you can really put that boundary from work and life. So those are the impacts of between life for the employers and for the employees. So I don't know if you have any questions or any other area. Let me know.
Yes. Thank you so much. In fact, you dealt with a lot of the things that I know is burning on a lot of people's hearts when it comes to work-life balance, especially with self-care. Honestly, especially women. Men, I think men take better care of themselves, truly. Women, we do not, I don't know whether we don't realize we should take care of ourselves also. We're taking care of the children, we're taking care of the husband, we're taking care of the work, everything, taking care of the house. And we forget that this body is still flesh. It's not a machine.
Yeah.
It is still flesh and blood. It can and it does wear off. It does wear down. So that is one area that I know that a lot of us have issues, including me. For a long time, I didn't know what it means to slow down. The people that know me know. Work, I'm in the office. Home, full, as in 100% in the office, 100% at home, 100% everywhere, except when it comes to me. At that point, I don't even remember until my body began to tell me you are aging. I had to slow down by force. So definitely we need to, especially women, consider the area of self-care. It is so important. You can't have any kind of balance if you don't take care of yourself. Who are you balancing for if you're not okay? So yes, I think that is a very key
About
place to
women and self-care, the problem, one thing is that we women, if you're in a position to work less, please do. If you're in a position, I believe a lot of people are not in that position. That's why they have to work. There's nothing you can do about it, because you are given, that is my own belief strongly. You're given the work to nurture your own, to nurture your kids. You understand? So and you need strength for that. Just like what you said, I'm a person that I have to keep reminding myself. The first time I got confronted with my daughter, I was almost limping some 4 or 5 years ago, almost limping. She now said, "What's wrong with your knees?" I said, "It's paining me." She said, "Make an appointment." I said, "No, there's no time." She looked at me. She looked at me and said, "There's no time. Mommy, if something happens to you now, what's going to happen to us?" That means you are selfish, because if you break down, everything breaks down. So you need to take care of. That's the first time I started understanding what self-care is. I felt self-care was selfish. And as a mom, when I have the opportunity to talk to moms, you need to take care of yourself. If it's possible for you to work lesser. When my children were growing up, I took that that choice to work less. I have a colleague, she has one child, she's in training, and I told her, she has a daughter, and I told her, "I don't want to hear you complain about that girl, because you're working full time, you're going to school. So when you're coming back, you're tired. So when she's coming to you, so she has no problem. You have the problem." I joke with her, but that's the truth. A 3 years old child needs you. A 3-year-old child wants to play, has no time to keep time. You understand? You as a mother, you wake her up early in the morning to take her to school, so that you go to work. You come back, you want to read, you tell her, go and sit down, you put her in front of the TV. So in that situation, your priorities are wrong, but life is happening to you. That is why you have to do what you are doing. But in doing that, what I keep telling her is that understand that that child needs you. Whatever that child is asking for is screaming for your attention. You might not be able to give her everything, but don't make her feel bad, or don't say that child. No, understand that what that child is looking for is your attention, and she needs it at that age. But fortunately, she has to grow, and that's the struggle a lot of moms go through. Really, that's the struggle they go through.
Yeah, and at times we also add, I'm careful to say this, but we also add extra stress. Every program in church, you must be in all. You mustn't be in all, because you have young children. You need to make out the time to be with your children. This is not saying that you should not be involved. You have to be involved in church if you're a Christian, yes. But you also have to remember that you have small children. They need your attention. Devise a means. It exists. The thing that most times we don't look for, it exists. A way to be able to attend some church programs and keep your name on the register there. Stay with your kids. I remember when my children were small, we used to play outside. We had a field. Well, it wasn't really a field, it was just a neighbor's plot of land that she hadn't built. We would go there and we'll play ball and things like that. And people would be like, what? It's like you're wasting time playing with the children. I'm like, leave. Because by the time something is going wrong, you will not come and help me. I will become a prayer collector at that time. Pray for me, or my son did. Pray for me, or my daughter. No, let me spend this time now and know them. So we have to, it's a decision. It's a decision. Everybody will not understand it, but look at your own family and figure out how to balance out these things. One other thing, when you talked about the office delegating, that is a big issue for a lot of us Nigerians. At least I know that for a fact. We are so afraid of people taking over our jobs that we don't share. We don't open up what we are doing. So when you go on leave, everything shuts down. When there was one time we were just starting this new company, I chose to work there because I love that initial startup phase. I don't know why, but I love it in the company. So I chose to work there. I left a very big company and came to that small company, and we were there. And my husband said, okay, it's time for holiday. We are going on holiday. I quickly put in my request for leave. The people working with Mama, we want to go on leave. I said, of course. And while I'm gone, do not call me. They're like, but who? I said, look at this person. This person knows all about the accounts. This other person knows all about commercial. This person knows all about operations. Nobody should call me. I am on leave. My phone is off. And people were shocked that I could leave something that looked like I grew it on my baby, in fact,
Exactly.
and go on leave. But
Exactly.
I left it and went on leave because me, I need to be alive to maintain and sustain this baby. In quotes. So
And that
it's
is not
something.
easy.
It's
That's not
not.
easy to do.
It's
Not
not
easy.
really. But I keep telling people, any office I leave, I am sure that somebody there can do my job. There is no fear.
That's very
There
good.
is no fear that, oh, as I've left, everything will go to pieces. If that happens, I'm even upset. If
Then you
they have
didn't.
to
That's
call
what
me,
I
I'm
believe. Then
upset.
you didn't do your job well.
Yes,
If you cannot transfer your knowledge to somebody else, that's what I
exactly.
believe also.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ife, today. I think you hit all the right chords. You hit the nail on the head in several places. We've heard what we need to hear about the impact of poor work-life balance. And I hope that as we're hearing, we're applying the things we are hearing. That is the most important thing. So that by next time you're discussing with somebody, you'll be able to say, at least I have a reasonable work-life balance. Nobody gets it right 100%.
All the time.
Nobody. But at least to a certain extent, you've been able to balance your work life and your personal life. Thank you once again, Coach Ife, for coming.
Thank
Like
you
I said,
so
I will
much.
post so that people will know that this is no mean person. I will post her profile so that you will look at it, and I'll make sure I post it before the next session because she's coming back next week. Yes, she's coming back next week to finish what she started today. I'll make sure I post her profile. You need to read it and know that I didn't bring any mean person for you today.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Thank you,
you
ma.
so
It's
much
always
for
a
joining
pleasure with
me,
you,
and
ma.
thank
God
you
bless you, ma.
everyone for coming out today, and even those that will also watch this replay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I say, I always appreciate that you give up this 1 hour of your time to join me here or to watch the replay. And I'm also grateful for the comments. You know, people keep asking me, but during your sessions, because of the timing, maybe just 2 people joined, 3 people joined. Doesn't that discourage you? I said, no. Why it doesn't discourage me is that afterwards, I get messages. Oh, I watched your session the other day. Oh, so I keep going because somebody is truly getting something from this. Yeah, somebody is truly learning and growing. Thank you all once again for joining me. I'm so glad to have you all every week right here on Facebook Live Growth Habits with Ngozi Tuesday. Usually it's 12 noon, but because of Ife's work, we had to adjust to 3 p.m. today and next week. The upper week will go back to our 12 noon time. Thank you all once again, and remember to make today count. Be valuable and grow. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.